Hello, wise people. This is a preview to the extended reading for 2025. I have already done the general energy overview in two parts for the first half of the year and the second half of the year. However, the first part, the first half, I had to do two videos because I got interrupted. Then I am going to redo the second part, although I have already recorded it, but I'm going to redo it because I was interrupted again for that as well. And the reason I'm saying this is because I feel that's the energy of this year. A lot of interruptions, a lot of having to go back on things, rethink, perhaps as Mars is retrograde in Cancer still. It's a time to, at the beginning of the year, I'm talking. It's a time when we have to rethink and re-strategize. I will take this to the extended, and I'm going to leave the link for payment in the description box, and once that's processed you'll get the link for the full reading. But and also the links to the general energy overview of 2025, because this is mainly about love and relationships. I was initially trying to structure the general reading by two halves, like the first half and the second half, and then also by quarters. But when I started pulling for quarters, I was not allowed to I was not getting information for that. All I was getting was about love and relationships of all types. So it's not just love, but all types of relationships, family relations, friendships, business partnerships, and so on. And I believe that it happened because it's very important that we complete what we started. I was saying in the general reading that I feel energy of 2024 is still seeping through into the first half of 2025, and then the second half of 2025 is very strongly intertwined, interconnected with the energy of 2026. But before we get into that, let me quickly give you an idea about 2025 generally speaking, although I do want you to listen to the other videos obviously. But quickly, just to say, the general energy that I pulled for 2025 was the rune Jera, which came up in reverse. However, this rune cannot be reversed, but if does happen, which it has, it says you got to pay attention to how you regard yourself, because it says you cannot see, you very likely, most likely cannot see your value, your full value, your full potential. And the problem with that is, especially for those who are into manifesting and wanting, I believe everyone is, whether they are aware of the term or not, everyone would like their life to get better. So key point here that perhaps I haven't explained this clearly is, in order to see it, you got to be it. So you got to embody that energy first. So if you don't see your value, nobody else will see your value. If you don't see yourself successful, nobody else will see you successful. If you don't see yourself financially stable and capable and able of making money, nobody else will do it either. So you get the point, you get the gist. If you don't love yourself, or don't see yourself as beautiful or lovable or whatever, attractive or healthy, it's not happening until you see it and you be it. So I hope it makes sense and it gets you to the point. And also, in terms of manifesting, if you find it difficult to believe, for example, if you've never been financially successful and you don't know what that is and what that feels like, just open yourself up to the opportunity of being financially successful. So see yourself as capable of attracting financial opportunities, of getting a better job or a better business idea or business opportunity. So just open yourself to the opportunity. If you don't know what it's like to have a lot of money, that's fine. But you can see yourself capable of having an opportunity. That is the bare minimum. So that, for those who say, well, you know, I've never been rich, or I've never been in a happy relationship, I don't even know what it's like, or I'm not well physically, and how can I see myself healthy? Well, if you can't see yourself that way, open yourself to the opportunity. Now back to 2025 general energy. We have here les oiseaux and les poissons, the birds and the fish, and it says protection. So, as I said, very much about finances and relationships. These are the focus of 2025, along with Il Giudizio, which is healing, and second chances and opportunities. Speaking of second chances, I would not advise to give a second chance to anything and or anyone that puts you in danger. I believe every human being deserves a second chance, but not at the price of your health and well-being. Just so we are clear on that as well. So this particular, another thing about couple of important warnings about 2025. We have a lot of planetary shifts happening. A lot of planets are changing signs. Uranus, Saturn. So Uranus is going to move into Gemini, Saturn and Pisces are going to move into Aries. Of course, they will eventually go back into their present signs, but only very short time. And them changing signs because they are outer planets is a big thing. And then the the nodes, north and south node, are shifting as well, which is very important. They move from the Aries Libra axis onto the Pisces Virgo axis. So we are starting a new era this year, a massive new beginning. However, this is the transitory year from the old to the new, hence why probably first half is influenced heavily by 2024 in the past, and the second half heavily influenced by 2026. I don't know if I have explained. Up to this point I did in the other video, but I will say it again, even if I have to repeat myself. This is a year 9, and the year 9 is nearing the completion of a cycle, is the beginning of the end, if you like. We are starting a new era, but we are not. It's the preparation of, it's like when astronauts go up in space for a while, they will do probably like a year, they will do training and prepare themselves for it. It's, if you like, when you set your New Year resolutions or goals or intentions, whatever, we won't see the results until we actually go through the process. We get, we get to the finish line with it. And speaking of that, as I said, we have to complete our healing, because otherwise we will not see the change in our life. It's the same with the resolutions. You will not see them happening unless you go through with them. And this year it's for that, 2025. And also something important that I want you to become aware of, as perhaps I haven't mentioned myself, but others in the field have, but just in case you haven't come across it, very important points. Healing and manifestation both can happen instantly. I know I have spoken a lot about the process of both healing and manifestation, and especially the healing process being quite a long, strenuous, tedious process, difficult. But that is because we don't put enough energy and time into it, or we don't have the capability, the ability to believe that it can happen instantly. But is both healing and manifestation can happen instantly if we believe it and if we are it, as I said earlier. So if you believe, you can have it happening instantly. If you have a hard time to believe that it's possible, you will have to go through the process. The choice is yours. However, you have to complete that healing in order to complete your manifestation. Manifestation cannot happen without healing, because if you had a money trauma, you cannot change your financial circumstances in a stable way to create a strong foundation for it. If you don't heal your money trauma and money blocks, you perhaps will have some windfalls and some wins here and there, but we all know of those who did win the lottery and have lost it all. So that's why healing is important. And same with relationships. Yes, you may meet somebody else, but you're going to repeat that process until you heal. And another important point I want to make here for everyone to pay attention to is about relationships, especially those who have experienced narcissistic relationships. That needs healing. I cannot stress enough. And it is the hardest, the most difficult to heal, because I believe that at the bottom of it, it's betrayal, to be fair. And it's very difficult to heal. However, it is very important that you look at yourself as well. And I know the truth is difficult to deal with, but my readings will give out, will use of my own energy, and my energy is about taking action and not living at the mercy of random, arbitrary encounters. I cannot control anything other than myself, my thinking, my emotions. And I like to take action because I don't like to be at the mercy of anything or anyone other than God. So if you don't resonate with this, if this reading doesn't resonate with you, it's not for you. We don't vibrate on the same frequency. And I believe that truth is meant to help, and my readings and my teachings are meant to help, not to soothe primarily. So they will first help you heal and then soothe, if that makes sense. So going back to narcissistic relationships and having to face the truth, as difficult as it is, and it is somewhere in this reading is showing as well. I'm going to give you obviously details in the extended, but it's important to take a good look at how we have behaved and what narcissistic traits have we portrayed and exhibited towards ourselves. I'm not saying that we have been narcissistic to other people, but I strongly believe that anyone who has experienced narcissistic relationships has been narcissistic towards themselves, at least. And it's hard when you're hurt and when you're in pain to take stock and to self-reflect, because obviously the pain is too much at times. But once that is processed, take a good look at yourself, because anything that triggers us and everyone we encounter, whether a person or a situation, is a mirror of our internal world. So how many times have you gaslit yourself telling yourself that it's okay to stay in that shitty relationship, that it's okay that they don't do what they should be doing, that it's okay to overlook the red flags, or have ghosted yourself whenever you felt the need to cheat yourself or to get away from something bad, or um, to give yourself self-care and self-love. How many times did you say to yourself, well, I don't have time for that just now, I will do it later, I don't have the money, I'm not feeling it, whatever? That is gaslighting and ghosting of the self. Hence why you had to encounter a narcissistic relationship to make you look at what you are practically doing to yourself. Back to general warnings about 2025 before we get into this bit more. Warning, it's aside from the fact that it's a year 9 and it's all this transition and preparation and completion, it corresponds to planet Mars. Mars is an energy of action and of war, and of fire, very much a tower energy, if you like, in the tarot. And I did get towers twice. Actually, we have a tower here even. So careful with unexpected situations like accidents that involve fire, transportation, cars, flights. I know it's Mercury that's responsible for transport, but Mars, it's about movement. So if obviously transport involves movement, so it kind of encompasses it. And we've all heard about the fires in Los Angeles lately. My heart goes out to all of you, and the prayers. If you or your loved ones have been experiencing that, or other misfortune or accidents, there's been a lot going on, as I said, both in terms of car crashes and plane crashes and all sorts of accidents, silly even, some of them unintentional. So cautious with all of that, with being reactive, because as I said, it's the planet of war, and it applies to not just large scale wars, which we sadly have witnessed for the last few years in the world, but it can cause conflict between two people, between families, between any scale, large or minor or major. So very careful with that. Do not, as I said, do not get into arguments, don't be reactive, don't go ahead into anything without thinking and strategizing. Don't be volatile, okay? Because it's dangerous energy. And also another cautious around July, when Uranus shifts into Gemini sign. Uranus is anything by subtle, and it comes in with a bang and is unexpected. So expect the unexpected around that time. Obviously, a few weeks before may even start seeing signs. Do not try to dig in and to find out and to predict what the unexpected event could be, because that is meant to be unexpected, to take you by surprise. If you do predict something, it will happen, something else will happen. The energy cannot die, the energy only transforms. So there will be another unexpected sudden occurrence, and it will be heavier and more difficult to deal with. Now, the purpose of this reading, as I said, it will be mainly money and relationships. I believe relationships even more so. And it makes sense because it's what affects our life heavily. Money and relationships, stating the obvious. So if you have been struggling with a narcissistic relationship, or a conflicting a relationship that's been stricken by strife, difficulties, conflict, and any third party situation, then it's for you. If you're looking to, as I said, make more money and become financially stable, this is for you as well. If you're looking at your legacy, whether children, family, or your work, what you want to be known in the world for or as, this is for you as well. And if you're ready to heal and change your life for good and your circumstances and transform your life, this is for you. I will go in the extended and try and clarify each area and give you more details about this in terms of we know the challenges, so it will be in terms of advice and potential outcome. If this is where we say goodbye, thank you for your time. Please subscribe, is free. Hit the notification bell button so you get notified when I upload next. Share. It's not gonna take you, it doesn't take anything from me, it will only help others. And with this year being a year 9, is very much about the community as well, and transforming communities, and shifting from the competition mindset and concept and attitude into collaboration and support and compassion. So thank you for doing that, and until next time, be loved and be happy.